I think you have to, I think when somebody puts 2.5 minutes of video up and people play 2.5 minutes of video off of a 43-minute speech, it's probably important for both the news organization transmitting the 2.5 minutes and what they purport that it means, and for those involved making decisions about somebody's career in their life to do the same thing.
I'm walking, yes indeed, I'm talking about you and me, I'm hoping.
I'm walking and talking about you and me. It's a shame that Mr. Gibbs wasn't talking about how Michael Savage was crucified by George Soros' Media Matters. Instead, he is talking about Miss Sherrod, who is now being given a new job at the USDA. It's a very big and important story, and I'm going to talk about it now in case you haven't heard about it. And I am calling this affair the Breitbart affair, and I will tell you why in a moment. This is a case of a U.S. black civil servant in the Department of Ag who was first fired and is now being offered a new job. And it's all a result of a series of tapes of her speech, which came out, in which she speaks to an audience at the NAACP and apparently seems to be anti-white, bigoted, and prejudiced. The White House jumped the gun based on these tapes and fired her. The NAACP, because they are under fire, jumped the gun and attacked her. What happened is that a day later it turned out that the white farmer she supposedly disrespected and abused came out with the wife of that farmer, and they both said that this black woman was actually very nice and very helpful and actually saved their farm. Well, immediately thereafter, an immediate attack machine went into overdrive, attacking the source of these tapes, namely my good friend and a good man, Andrew Breitbart. Having watched this affair unfold, I'm beginning to believe that the entire affair was orchestrated by the government itself to smear Breitbart and the Tea Party movement. And I believe that this is going to get much bigger rather than smaller as we move into the elections. This is part of the dirty tricks campaign that the Democrats are famous for, and I believe they used Andrew Breitbart's idealism. Now, the reason I say that is because it was Breitbart himself who released the Acorn tapes and seriously damaged Acorn to his credit, causing the Democrat machine great problems with their false voting, etc. And they've been waiting for an opportunity to get back at him. So they released these tapes, these edited tapes of the black bureaucrats through a third party or a fourth party, whispering, oh, do we have something for you, Mr. Breitbart? This is really going to show the NAACP to be a racist organization. Now, they know Andrew is an idealist. They know that he's trying to save America from their communism. So he immediately releases the tapes that they feed him. He jumps to conclusions. Ipso facto, she's declared to be a racist. Ipso facto, the NAACP is called racist. She is fired, the NAACP apologizes. The government apologizes. And lo and behold, a day later it comes out that she saved the farm of the white family, right? So immediately the White House sends out the human gefilte fish, Robert Gibbs, who now says the government was wrong, and they apologize to the woman, and that he says that 2.5 minutes of videotape should be seen in the context of the whole speech, which is what I've been trying to say to Britain for over a year and a half with no help whatsoever, over a year now. Now, what I believe is next going to happen, and I fear this very deeply, I fear this with everything in myself, is that this government, this dirty tricks Democrat smear machine, this Democrat socialist regime, is now going to bring charges against the parties involved with releasing this tape. And I believe that they can go to any level if they wish. They are the government. You know, I myself am a victim of selective editing. That's why I'm banned in Britain. So I'm very sensitive to this story, both for the lady who was smeared by the selective editing and the loss of her job. And I'm also sensitive to the fact that the Breitbart group released these tapes without evaluating thoroughly the ramifications thereof with regard to their own safety. My deepest fear is that the government will bring some kind of charges or investigation against Mr. Breitbart and try to destroy both him and the Tea Party movement, with which he is closely identified. They are going to make the woman into the new Rosa Parks, and they're going to paint Breitbart as the head of the new Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. That is my deepest fear, because Andrew is my friend, and I hope I am wrong. And the reason I am giving you my commentary on this is to warn you what this Democrat socialist machine is capable of. Part of the problem is that there are many people in this business who began as journalists or news aggregators who are trying to be commentators. There is a real firewall between journalism and commentary. Michael Savage, me, I'm a commentator. I've never pretended to be a journalist. I never wanted to be a journalist. It's very difficult to do correct journalism that is truly objective. I'd say it's equally difficult to do commentary the way I do it and sustain an audience for as many years as I have, particularly when you consider the demographics of my audience, their education level in particular, which is the highest in the industry. I am a member of the commentariat. So, therefore, it's very important that people understand that you really can't do both. You cannot be a good journalist and a good commentator at the same time. The problem becomes that you don't know when you cease being a journalist, which is supposed to be objective and rarely is, and when you become a commentator, which is rarely objective and usually subjective, meaning it's opinion. Commentary means you have opinions. You present your opinions. You base your opinions on facts, and you try to get the public to agree with you or accept your viewpoints or commentary. Journalists are not supposed to swing an audience towards any one viewpoint. Journalists are supposed to present the facts and let the reader or listener decide for themselves. We all know that this rarely occurs. We know that AP, CNN, ABC, CBS are in fact all yellow journalism 99% of the time. 99% of these people don't even understand that they were trained to be nothing but little propaganda stooges for the New World Order. What you must remember is there is a high brick wall between journalism and commentary. Very few can cross over. Moreover, nobody can do both well. I'm Michael Savage. I'm open for business. The phone number is 1-800-449-8255. Here are the questions from this commentator. Who is most at fault for creating the situation with the videotape of Shirley Sherrod? Remember, Breitbart did not create these tapes. Breitbart did not edit these tapes. Somebody fed them to him. And what role do you suspect the White House may have played in this affair? Who is the real villain in this case, and who is the real victim? Do you believe, as I do, that Andrew Breitbart was set up for this? And who is most responsible for exploiting racism in America today?
Miss Shirley was, she knows it too. All this is a bunch of hogwash, is my opinion now. She was just as nice to us as anyone could have been. And as far as racism and all, it's just ridiculous.
That's Roger Spooner, the actual farmer who was helped by Miss Sherrod. So this has the White House's footprints all over it. I want to just summarize my analysis. I have every reason to suspect, no reason to prove, that the White House released these tapes through third or fourth parties to the Breitbart group, hoping they'd be released, hoping the outcry would occur, hoping she'd get fired, and then hoping that this would happen. That's what I think. Houston, Texas, JT, welcome to the Savage Nation.
Hey, Michael. Hey, before I politely disagree with you on this Breitbart deal, man, I need some vacation ideas, man. You can give them to me later when you hang up.
I'm so glad you brought it up. I am so burned out. I'm having nightmares about British secret agents chasing me down the street. I'm so tired from this. A year and a half of fighting Britain. I'm dead tired. I don't know where to go, though. I have no knowledge of where to go. I can't help you.
I feel like going to Arizona. I don't know why. I just feel like going there and just taking everybody. Everybody's in disagreement where to go. No one knows. So
yeah, go to Arizona. Enjoy the Sonora Desert. Bring a platoon of Marines with you. You can't even go in the national park there. It was given over to the cartels. So what makes you call today, JT?
Well, Michael, man, I didn't want to disagree with you, but Breitbart is a high professional. He just doesn't get stuff and release it on a whim. He ought to just say, I dropped the ball, apologize, and he'll come out the winner on this deal. If he plays hard like...
So you actually are a conservative who thinks that Andrew should apologize for having made a mistake.
I was like you the other day. I thought, yeah, this is ridiculous. And then after I saw the whole thing, I said, this woman has got some integrity,
Yes. Oh, absolutely. There's no question that there's something suspicious about the entire affair, JT, and I thank you very much.